How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? In today's video, I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about my mindset and how I'm scaling past 10K a month, right? 10K a month USD. So this is gonna be completely unscripted. I was just walking in the park and just had this idea that I should share with you guys. So I'm gonna get straight into it. One of the most important things about scaling, right, is leverage and systems. So what do I mean by leverage and systems? First, we'll talk about leverage, right? So most of us have come from working jobs, right? Where our income is tied to our time that we spent on the work, right? Now, the way we create leverage is by taking that income. So for example, if I work for an hour and I get 20 bucks, now if I can get someone else to do that work for $10, then I'm $10 in profit while doing nothing. But that time that I spend doing nothing, now I can use that time to do something else. Maybe that's finding out how I can lower costs further. Maybe that's finding out how to train this person better so they can create me even more output. For example, hiring a DM setter, right? Hiring a lead generator, hiring a cold caller, right? So now with the time you spent, now with the time you saved, you can use that time to create SOPs. You can use that time standard procedures, so operational procedures. You can use that time to train them better. So now they can book you even more calls, right? You can spend that time to learn how to close better. So now your closing rates increase. So that's how you create leverage, right? And you need leverage to scale past 10K. Like I'd say 10K gets you get to 10K with hard work, right? And there's different types of hard work. You can either do like hard labor or you can do smart labor, right? Smart labor is just outsourcing, right? You can even get commission-based closers and setters, right? Anyways, so number one is leverage, and number two is systems. So now that you have leverage, you need to create systems to systemize that leverage, right? What I mean by that is I have a current content system where I just record a video and I put it onto a Google Drive and it automatically gets edited and scheduled, right? But it's through I just have this page in Notion. I've created this workflow. It's all automated through Slack. So every time it gets uploaded, my editor gets notified, and my editor notifies me when it needs to get approved. The workflow automatically notifies me that it has to get approved. I approve it. Then that approval gets automatically sent to the scheduler, and the scheduler schedules it across 5 platforms. Now with all of that, I've saved around, I think 20 hours, 30 hours a week because I post content every day across 5 to 6 different platforms, right? Unless, not YouTube though. YouTube is just when I have an idea like this, right? So you need to create systems, right? You need to link that leverage to the systems. Now, once you've linked the leverage and systems, it's just gonna be running in the background. You don't even have to worry about it, right? Like I wake up, I look at my phone and I have calls booked, right? And the only reason I'm able to do that is because I've leveraged my client acquisition and created systems to book me the appointments, right? Simple, right? It's just Calendly, and then I can have systems to increase my show up rate, right? Pre-call VSLs, right? Follow-up reminders, 30-minute reminders, 1-hour reminders. Very simple to build these workflows. You can do that straight through Calendly or your own CRM software, right? So you need this because if you're earning 10K a month, right? Let's say you were earning 50K a month, right? What's 50K a month? 50K a month is five clients paying you 10K, or you have a PIF that's around 5K and you got to close around 10 per month. Look, it all depends, right? So, but even in that time, you can't be spending all of your time. You cannot be spending all your time in client acquisition. No way. You cannot be spending all your time in client fulfillment either. So you have to create systems within client fulfillment, within onboarding, right? So you're not working 24/7, because once you start working 24/7, then you have no thinking power or brain power to actually scale. You don't have time to just sit down and think, okay, look, I literally had this whole thing I built out, right? This is my new onboarding system that I'm actually working on. So you don't have time to do this, to just sit down for an hour and stare at the wall and be like, what the fuck am I gonna do next, right? Like, what's next? Like, okay, I got to 50K, how do I get to 100, right? So you need that time to think, because we're thinking creatures. The only thing that separates us from animals is our our thinking ability, right? We're not rats in a race. We're human beings with consciousness, right? And I forgot to mention, but energy is fucking crucial, right? Nikola Tesla says, if you want to know the secrets to the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibrations, right? Firstly, you need to vibrate at a higher frequency. What I mean by that is you need to operate as the best version of yourself. You need to operate as if you were already making $1 million a month, or as you were already making 100K a month, right? That way, you align the tasks you do every day with that version of yourself, right? It's like, it's okay, take 2 hours off and go to the gym, bro. It's okay, take an hour or two off and just chill out. Well, read a book, go for a walk, talk to that girl. You know what I mean? Because all of those things will eventually give you your own personal journey to that 100K. Because always remember, it's the journey, not the destination. It's the person you become through the process that, that is capable of that 100K a month. You know what I mean? Because if you were handed 100K on your lap, cool, you got 100K. Now what are you gonna do with it, right? Can you make more of it? You get what I mean? But if you, that's why millionaires always say, leave me with no money, leave me in the middle of the desert and I'll make it all back. It's because they have the skills, right? They're confident in themselves. The journey's already made them into who they need to be to consistently earn 100K a month, right? Anyways, create leverage, and then create your systems. Now, once you do that, you're no longer tied down to your business. Now with that time, bro, you can do whatever you want, man. You want to travel the world, do it, right? But understand that you need to keep increasing leverage and you need to keep refining your systems if you want to keep scaling and stay up to date in the market, right? Always remember, majority of the market fights for the bottom, right? It's a race to the bottom. They keep decreasing their prices, right? If you work with, if you work with 10 people who you charge $100 to, you're making $1,000, right? But let's say you work with one client charging you $1,000. Of course, it's harder to find. But the thing is, if you increase perceived value, you will get there. If your offer is good enough, you'll get there, right? If the dude's just having a bad day and he really needs your product and you just manage to call him at that right time, right everything, and he will pay, right? Deliverables will be the exact same, right? But the only difference here is now you have more time to give to that client rather than working with 10 different clients. 10 different clients means more fires. $1,000 means more emotional investment from your client's side, right? Which makes it an easier client to work with. So I'm not gonna keep this video too long, but next up is you need to know your position, right? You need to know where you are in your business, right? You need to understand one thing is, where am I in my business? Because that's what leads us on to the next bit there. Where am I in my business currently? How many clients do I have? How much money do I have to spend? If my rent is $3K, if my food is like $1K, if I smoke cigarettes and it's like $300 a month or something like that, how much money do I have to spare? And with that money, what do I want to do? I want to travel? Do I want to build systems? Do I want to purchase the CRM software? Do I want to hire a media buyer? Do I want to hire a CSM? What is it that I want to do? Know your position. Am I broke? I got no money? What do I do, right? Once you know your position, you need to understand 4 different things. I don't know if this actually exists, but I just came up in my head, right? There's high impact, and then there's low impact. Then there's high rev gen and low rev gen, right? So it can always be a mixture of things. What I mean by this is a task can be high impact and low rev gen. So as I was saying before, I had to hop on a meeting. High impact, low impact, high rev gen, low rev gen. So remember, high impact tasks can be low rev gen tasks, and high impact tasks can also be high rev gen tasks, right? Low impact tasks can also be low rev gen, and low impact can also be high rev gen. So, I knew where I was last time. Excuse me. Low impact, sending DMs, cold DMs, right? But if you're in a situation where you cannot create leverage because you don't have access to capital, then low impact, high rev gen is something that you would have to spend time doing, because although sending cold DMs, 150 DMs a day, you could easily just get someone to do that for you. You don't have the funds to do it or the systems to do it. Then that's the task that you should do. Ideally, you want to focus on high impact tasks, right? But some high impact tasks have pretty low rev gen in the short term, like making content. Making content is high impact because you build authority and trust at a one-to-many scale. However, it doesn't give you immediate rev gen. It doesn't immediately increase your capital, right? But a high impact and a high rev gen task would be stuff like cold calling, because you build the skill, right? Would be door to door, something if you would do that even, right? High impact tasks would be working on systems, but that's low rev gen because you don't create money instantly, right? High impact, low rev gen would be hiring a caller, hiring a setter, right? So know your position and understand, what do you need right now? Do you need rev, right? Do you need scaling? So if you want scale, you go with high impact. If you need income, you need rev gen, right? And it also depends on how much capital you have to invest back into your business, right? So all of these things pretty much, it's just a short little thing that I made here. It's not even that big, bro. But this is just the mindset that I currently have that's going to help me scale past 10, 15, 20, 50K, right? 100K, we're going to have to start moving a little bit differently. Although you gotta have the whole entire plan out, right? But here's the thing. Scaling is about systems. It's always about systems. Mindset is also crucial, because when you are in the right mindset, when you're vibrating at the right frequency, you're going to attract good clients, and you're also going to attract good employees. You're also going to attract good teammates, right? Because when you both are vibing at the same frequency, you're allowed to have certain conversations together. There is no barrier between you. There's more transparency, right? And when there's transparency between you and your team, when there's transparency between you and your clients, that's when real value is created, because then you can speak from the heart. You can say the truth, right? And listen, business is not about emotion, it's about energy, right? Sometimes you might have someone in your team who's not doing as well, and you just have to fire them. Maybe they're a single mother, maybe they're a mother of 4, maybe they need the job, but if they're not performing, there's not much you can do, right? So apart from that, I don't know where the fuck I got cut off. Anyways, this has been Pranav. Pleasure. And this is how I'm scaling past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K per month. Anyways, peace.